So I reached out to the FBI in 2022. And I just want to say, because I was rather stoned when I wrote to them, but something inside of me was like, I wanted to catch their attention, right? My intention with doing that was envisioning somebody later down the road reading my report out loud in some sort of like press conference. Like, the things that were done to me were truly horrendous. And I genuinely wanted to make my report to the FBI like a stand-up. Because it's not only transmuting the energy, but again, I wanted to get their attention. I wanted whoever read that report initially, I wanted them to be like, who the fuck is this? I will say it has crossed my mind, considering the fact that my phone has been mirrored for so long. I did always wonder if it ever actually got to them. Was it intercepted in some way? And obviously it's able to be found with quite a bit of digging. But I don't think I ever made a video about that, of just, the stupid humor that I put into that report with the facts. And I just wanted to do something that had never been done before. And I just think it's funny when people do recruit so many to just create not only false narratives, but false reports. When people have friends in higher places who are able to make false police reports, put somebody under a false investigation, right? It will work out in your benefit because you're not actually doing anything wrong. And especially at the time that I was being lied on, I was honestly the most geriatric bitch who had ever lived. I didn't do anything besides go to work, go to the gym, go to the grocery store. I really didn't have a life. I went on a couple dates in between there that I honestly believe were setups, handler setups. So I was like, no. But you can only hope that the people that, received these false reports and everything, obviously they would be see you for who you really are, but also be like, what's going on here? You got all these people lying about this one bitch, and she's not fucking doing anything. Cue the investigation of the people who are lying about you. And what they're saying about you is what they're really doing. And I'm just gonna take a turn here with what I'm about to say, because I knew that my dad and my stepmom, I knew that they had some skeletons. They had stuff that they weren't obviously ever going to come out with. But I said this in Taylor's podcast yesterday, it was the way that they stood up for people I knew for a fact were abusing me, right? They were trying to gaslight me and making it seem like what was happening wasn't really happening, and sticking up for people that they didn't know, just to make me feel crazy. You know what I mean? So that's when I knew, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck's going on? And mind you, that's also the beginning stages of when I started coming out with talking about Freemasons, realizing that my ex, my brother-in-law, family members, all part of this Freemasonry, but also I didn't know at the time what Eastern Stars were. But putting things together, who all stopped talking to me, who in my life decided to just reach out and try to gaslight me, it was very apparent who was a part of what secret society, right? Also, making so many videos just talking shit about the Freemasons and then being uninvited to certain events, I was like, okay, I'm offending people I didn't even realize were a part of this. And I put things together with my dad and his friends, right? Once I had gotten sabotaged so bad, I started working for my uncle as a mover, right? And we would have to park, if we were going somewhere traveling, we would obviously meet at a certain location and then all get in the moving truck. And there was one time we parked at it was my dad and I worked for his brother, so their friend's garage. And it was literally the way that he looked at me, my dad's friend who I hadn't seen since I was a little kid, but the way that he looked at me, you guys, it was like I never felt like somebody wanted to punch me in the face more in my life. And after not seeing this person for so long, it was like, oops, my fault. I didn't realize I was talking about all of you guys when I was making those videos. How awkward. But keep in mind, guys, these dots are being put together literally in divine timing. These interactions are happening when they should, cueing the downloads, the realizations, and it really helped put together that basically where I'm from in Meriden, Connecticut, bro, there's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker from corruption. There's a lot of fucking secret society activity that's going on there, and it needs to be brought to the light because I don't know if anybody's seen Midnight Mass on Netflix, but it's just that's like what's coming to my mind, where there's so many people involved, a lot of fake fucking Catholics. No offense, guys, but if you go to church on Sunday and then you're fucking participating in satanic rituals and all this black magic, and you're covertly taking steps to make sure certain family members croak so you can benefit from them no longer being on the earth. It's like, goodbye. 911 on the clock. And guys, this video is gonna ruffle some feathers. I was gonna say, people are gonna be fucking pissed, dude. When people never thought that I would come out with this truth and call out my own family members, but like, to be fair, I never thought that my family members would literally try to take me out. You know what I mean? And it's like, I gotta just stop protecting people that purposely put me in harm's way for their own benefit. And I noticed, they say the universe is always speaking to you, right? If you want to listen. And back in 2021, when I really started putting pieces together, living in Enfield, Connecticut, again, it was a setup to move in with a coworker who was just poisoning me, blackmailing me, like pretending to be me online. But here's the kicker. We're both living in the same apartment, so it's under the same Wi-Fi. So that's how she was framing me, by just acting like a complete shit stain as me. So like, that's what sucks, is it was literally on the same fucking Wi-Fi. And once I had put that together, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, got a bitch extra good. That was clever, I guess. But it's honestly like, that's when God stepped in, because it was like I was just seeing right through people. And it was like I've never felt fear in other people when I expressed directly to their face what they were doing, right? But I noticed, because I always watched YouTube on my TV, that also made my roommate and her friend Christine go into my room and put like gross things on my YouTube, and just like another way that they tried framing me, that bitches would never prosper. But I always noticed that Look Alive by Drizzy was always on my YouTube, and it like felt like a universal warning, like look alive, like in the sense of being plotted on. And I noticed yesterday, after that podcast episode, that song was on my YouTube feed, and I hadn't like listened to that in years. I don't really listen to, you know what I mean, like big stars, because obviously they're participating in rituals that people literally tried to do to me. So it's like, it's just crazy how everything's connected. But it was just wild listening to the song yesterday, and I heard the bar that he literally says, push me to the edge so it really ain't my motherfucking fault. This bitch is stupid. You guys, that's literally how I feel about my videos. Everybody has pushed me to the edge. And just going back to Midnight Mass, it's like my videos are equivalent to just burning all the boats. Everybody that literally grouped together to get away with this, and it's like trying to obtain finances that don't belong to them is one thing, but it's the fact that you had to continuously shat on my character, frame me, take steps to drug me and SA me to again try to set something up as framing me as this prostitute weirdo. It's like people literally pushed me to the fucking edge, and now I have to stand up, and it's like we're gonna see how hard they fucking ride, because I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down against people who have done this to so many others just so they can get away with being greedy fucks. Why is that? So they can continuously feed their ego and have more material things than the people around them. So what? That just means that I'm worth nothing? I'm just a cash cow scapegoat to you? I don't fucking think so. Will they ever give me flowers? Oh, of course not.